Remember early 2020? News of a new virus started to spread far and wide, and then something quite peculiar began to happen with toilet paper. Yes, toilet paper. It started vanishing from supermarket shelves at an astonishing rate. People saw other shoppers buying truly enormous quantities of it. So, naturally, they felt compelled to start buying huge amounts too. It quickly turned into a widespread toilet paper frenzy, a curious phenomenon to observe. Many folks felt an urgent need to get their hands on it, fearing it would all be gone very soon. This was a curious sight, wasn't it? A real head-scratcher for sure, watching everyone just follow along. Imagine yourself walking into your local grocery store during that time. You head to the usual aisle and you see completely empty shelves where stacks of toilet paper used to be. It's a startling sight. Then, you might spot someone pushing a shopping cart piled incredibly high with packages. So high, in fact, they can barely see over the top of their precious cargo. It felt very strange, almost like a scene straight out of a disaster movie. This anxious buying wasn't truly about needing that much toilet paper all at once. It was largely about seeing others do it and then feeling a rising sense of panic. The fear of missing out was incredibly strong back then. This whole surprising situation wasn't initially driven by a real, immediate shortage of toilet paper itself, you see. The factories were still busy making it, day in and day out. The core problem was the sudden, massive and collective surge in buying. It was like an unstoppable wave building momentum. One person decided to buy a little extra, just in case. Then 10 more people saw them and did the same. Soon, hundreds, then thousands were joining in. It was a classic textbook case of people following the flow. Most individuals weren't pausing to ask themselves, do I genuinely need this much toilet paper right this very moment? They simply acted on impulse. This toilet paper saga, as we can now call it, is a very everyone's scientists This phenomenon wasn't isolated. It happened all around the world, from the biggest bustling cities to the smallest, quietest towns. The students, we collectively saw the herd begin to move in a certain direction, and many of us simply moved right along with it. Science is truly all around us, in every action. So, what exactly is this herd behavior that we are talking about? Well, try to picture a large herd of sheep peacefully grazing in a field, or perhaps a vast herd of cattle. If one single animal in that group suddenly gets spooked and starts running, what do the others typically do? They often follow suit immediately. They don't usually stop to ask questions or figure out the exact reason why. They just go. Humans, believe it or not, do this sort of thing too, sometimes more often than we realize. We tend to follow what the larger group around us is doing. It's like an invisible magnetic pull. We are social creatures after all, deeply wired for connection. This is a fundamental part of group dynamics. Herd behavior essentially means that people copy the actions and decisions of a larger group. And very often, we do this without even consciously thinking much about it at all. We simply observe others doing something specific, and we just join in the activity. This can happen for very simple, everyday things, or even for quite significant life decisions. It's undeniably a powerful and influential force in our daily lives, shaping our choices. This tendency is deeply ingrained within us, a part of our basic human nature. It's not always a deliberate, conscious choice. Sometimes it feels more like an automatic instinct. It's a truly fascinating aspect of human psychology and social science. Let me give you some easy-to-understand examples to illustrate this point. Imagine, if you will, that you are casually walking down a busy city street. Suddenly, everyone on the other side of the street stops and looks up towards the top of a tall building. What do you instinctively do? You probably look up too, out of curiosity. Or think about being at a big football game. If a few enthusiastic people in one section start a wave, it can quickly spread, and soon the entire stadium might be joining in the fun. Even choosing a particular popular brand of sneakers just because everyone else seems to have them is a subtle form of this behavior. These small, collective acts add up to big patterns. Now, it's important to understand that sometimes following the herd is not based on sound logic or good information. The crowd, as a whole, might actually be mistaken or misguided. But that powerful urge to conform, to feel like you are part of the group, can be incredibly strong. So strong, in fact, that we might even ignore our own better judgment or personal opinions. We might think to ourselves, well, if so many other people are doing it, then it must be the right thing to do. But as we know, that's not always true, is it? This is precisely where things can get a little bit tricky or even lead to problems. It's very important to be aware of this powerful invisible pull. So the big question is, why do we humans tend to join the herd and follow the crowd? One major reason, which is quite fascinating, is safety. Think way back to our ancient human ancestors. For them, sticking together closely with their group or tribe meant much better protection from all sorts of dangers. Dangers like fierce wild animals or rival groups. If the entire group suddenly started running, you would instinctively run too, without hesitation. It was a critical survival instinct. This deep-seated instinct for safety in numbers is still very much with us today. Being part of a larger group often makes us feel safer and more secure. We feel less vulnerable when we are not alone. Another significant reason we follow is for information. We often operate under the assumption that a large group of people collectively knows something important that we as individuals don't. This interesting psychological phenomenon is called social proof. For instance, if many people are eagerly buying a certain new model of smartphone, we might automatically think that it must be a really good phone with great features. Or, if a particular restaurant in town is always crowded with a long line outside, we naturally assume that the food there must be absolutely delicious. The group's collective actions serve as a kind of informational shortcut for us. It's like using the wisdom of the crowd as a quick guide. Then, of course, there's the ever-present fear of missing out, which many people call FOMO. It's a simple truth that nobody really likes to feel left out or excluded from what others are experiencing. If all your friends and peers are wearing a certain type of trendy new shoe, you might feel a strong desire to get them too. You want to fit in with your social circle. You want to be part of what's currently popular and accepted. This powerful desire can apply to many areas, such as investments, fashion choices, or even deciding which social events to attend. This fundamental desire to belong and be accepted is a powerful motivator for many of our actions and decisions. It taps directly into our core social needs as humans, and sometimes, quite frankly, following the crowd is just plain easier. Constantly making independent decisions all day long, day after day, can be genuinely tiring. It consumes a lot of mental energy and cognitive resources. If everyone else you know is planning to go see a particular new movie, it's often simpler to just go along with that plan. You don't have to spend time researching other movie options, reading reviews, or engaging in a debate about different choices. Following the path of least resistance can be very appealing in such situations. It effectively conserves our precious brain power for other, perhaps more complex or important tasks that we might face throughout our day. Now let's consider this. Is following the crowd always a bad thing? Not at all. In fact, sometimes it's a very sensible and smart thing to do. Imagine you are in a large crowded building, perhaps a theater or a shopping mall. Suddenly, a fire alarm starts blaring loudly. Everyone around you immediately starts running towards the nearest emergency exit. You see them all moving urgently. What do you do in that situation? You probably run too, and quickly. This is undeniably a smart move. Following the crowd in this scenario can literally save your life. The herd, in this case, knows something critically important. It's a clear signal for immediate danger, so you join the rush to safety. But on the flip side, there are other times when herd behavior can unfortunately lead to significant problems or negative outcomes. Think about the concept of financial bubbles in the stock market, for example. People see others apparently making a lot of money by investing in a particular stock or asset. So, they decide to jump in too, often without fully understanding the underlying risks or the true value. This collective buying can cause prices to soar way too high, becoming unsustainable, and then eventually the bubble bursts and prices crash. Or consider how a peaceful protest gathering can sometimes escalate and turn into a riot if a few individuals start acting destructively and others follow. The group mentality can sometimes overwhelm individual good sense. This is precisely why it's so incredibly important to cultivate the habit of thinking for yourself. It's perfectly okay, and even useful, to notice what the crowd is doing. That observation can provide you with valuable information. But then, the crucial next step is to take a moment, pause and reflect. Start asking yourself some critical questions. Does this particular action make logical sense for me personally? Do I have all the necessary facts and information to make an informed decision? Is this course of action safe for me and for others? Is it ethically right? Don't just follow blindly down a path simply because everyone else seems to be going that way. Your own brain is a powerful tool, so be sure to use it well and consider all the angles. So, what's the main takeaway from all of this science? Following the herd can, at times, be quite helpful. It can indeed keep us safe in dangerous situations, or it can efficiently point us towards good things, like a popular restaurant or a useful product. But it's certainly not a foolproof strategy for every situation. Always remember to use your own amazing, capable brain. Observe what's happening around you, evaluate the information critically, and then make your own informed decision. Being aware that herd behavior exists and how it influences us is the very first important step. The next vital step is to make conscious, thoughtful choices. Think for yourself. Science. And that's how we can all navigate our complex world a little bit smarter.